Great start for you folks. Pace and power. Pace and power, guys. Pace and power. Wicked, stink, and dirty, and they remain resistant to inclusionary governance, democracy. That's the people for you. So let them know. Don't come around with funny. Let's fight. Welcome below the belt, guys. Welcome below the belt. Trust that you guys are having a fantastic, fantastic Saturday. Not so? Is it so for you? Let us know how your Saturday has started. Let us know what you're doing. And let us know as well what's making the lunch menu today. What you guys eating? We fast. We don't lie to y'all. We tell you the truth. If it were a lie, we would have told you so. How is the weather where you are? How is the weather where you are? Trevor Calendar joining us from New Haven, Connecticut. Beautiful place. Love Connecticut. When I visited last November. Oh, that fall, Connecticut. My Lord. Right? I was telling a colleague of mine who was taking me around Connecticut. I said, I hope you all never get accustomed to these sites. Oh, if you see those trees, if you see this skyline, Connecticut in fall is a must see. So, Trevor, I hope you never get accustomed to seeing the beauty of Connecticut. Beautiful place. Love it. Folks are sneezing. Somebody call him a name. Trevor, good to see you down there. Jadine Thompson, hi. Hi, Jadine. How are you doing? Jamal Sheik. Jamal Sheik. We see you. Drink your water, Jamal. Drink your water. June Chase. Good to see you, June. And Debbie Pitt. Christy Burrows. Good to see you as well. Ingrid King. The PPP. Wicked, 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 stink, and dirty. I can't even see the rest of Ingrid King saying there. I can't even see the rest. Caroline. Good to see you, Caroline. Caroline Hinson. Good to see you. Good day to you as well, Caroline. Lorraine Garnett. Lorraine, how are you doing? So good to see you, Lorraine. John Jones. How is John? How is John doing? Has anybody seen my old friend John? Good to see you, John. Larry Crawford. He says it's wet, wet, wet. Where are you, Larry? Where are you joining us from? Larry Crawford. Christine Burrows. Courtney October. Good to see you, Courtney. I tell you all, the PPP, they remain resistant to inclusionary democracy. We're lying to you. We're not lying to you, folks. That's the factual matrix. That's the factual matrix for you. Wicked, stink, and dirty. Them boys. Them boys, folks. Them boys. Them boys. I hope, really hope that your Saturday is after a fantastic start. And you know, our brother says it's wet, wet, wet. Where he is, well, the weather isn't so hot. By we side, Edward Brooms says keep your mask on. I agree with you. Folks, it's 28 degrees in the national capital city of Georgetown. Well, I think that has been revised. It's 20. Let me make sure we captured right. 28 degrees outside. And weather.com, of course, says it feels like 31. It feels like 28. It feels like 28, but weather.com says it feels like 31 degrees outside, but it's 28 degrees outside. And they're telling us here there's an 8% chance it's going to rain. And of course, that's for Georgetown. It might be better elsewhere, and they're telling us that overnight that changes to 45% chance it's going to rain, and then into tomorrow, a 70% chance it's going to rain. Folks, expect rain tomorrow. That's all I want to tell you. Expect rain tomorrow. It's going to rain tomorrow. It's going to rain tomorrow, but for today, we good. As we move into the evening, 45% chance. But right now, 8% chance. We good. It's lovely weather outside. Lovely weather outside. Good to see you all. Good to see Gavin Liverpool, all the other beautiful folks. You know, we were talking there yesterday about some of the craziness that's been happening. Some of the craziness that's been happening, folks. And I'm so glad that you guys are here with us. We've been talking, for instance, about the really small issue at Linden Hospital Complex. You know, the firing of those 27 odd persons, and then how it was intended to be 100 plus, but thanks to the mettle of the folks on the ground, the Sharma Solomons, the Vanessa Kissoons, the German Figueras, regional chairman Darren Adams, and the pushback of the citizenry. And those of you who've been vigilant as well on social media, speaking out against this madness. Speaking out against this madness. Them boys pulled it back. They pull it back. Folks, we big. We big. But we ain't stupid. Right? We big, but we ain't stupid. Please and thank you. We big, but we ain't stupid. We understand what was the grand design. Right? But it takes shame out of I know that's not easy, but the pushback, that is why you and I got to remain vigilant. That's why we got to remain focused. You got to hold a focus, folks. You got to hold a focus. We can do this. That's why I want you to know. We can do this. Right? And we're going to do it. We are going to do it. But we got to hold a focus. Please and thank you. And so them boys pull it back. But not without much effort. And I want to thank all of those persons who've been so instrumental, like you guys, our listeners, our viewers, via the ring, via FYI, via Below the Belt, our podcast here, pushing back against the madness and the nastiness. And we got to keep on doing that. We got to keep on doing that, folks. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. We got to keep on doing that. For as long as it takes, we gotta continue to apply the pressure. We gotta continue to apply the pressure, folks. I'm so glad that you folks are here with us. And Darren Adams spoke up about this matter yesterday morning, both on our podcast, and he spoke to the media yesterday. And I'm happy that you have a man like Darren Adams on the ground there. On the ground, who isn't afraid? Okay? Who ain't afraid to talk the things? Not afraid to talk the things. Because in a country like ours, folks, we got to talk the things. Without fear or favor. Affection or ill will. You think you understand what's happening? So Darren spoke, as I said, to the media yesterday, and I think I wanna you to hear some of what he said coming out of that issue as we move along this afternoon. So glad again that you guys are here with us.
The members of Parliament, we were able to have a position rescinded in just about 24 hours after notices were issued to the first batch of persons who were slated to be fired, 27 of them. First of all, this also solidifies the point to us that this government, but through its actions and the very actions of the CEO, does not have this region and the interests of our people at heart. 3 weeks ago, there was an outreach here. The residents of the were promised jobs. And less than 3 weeks after that outreach, many persons. This is just one case that we were able to capture, but there are many who would have lost their jobs who were given these letters individually. This was the first time an attempt was made to send off such a huge batch, and that is why we were able to, quickly identify and put measures in place. But the essence of all that is happening here is one that Rudy Small is toxic for this environment. You would have recalled some time back when nurses protested because of distasteful comments that he would have made. He would have targeted those nurses. Over 100 of them that were protesting, their salaries were cut. I saw one pay slip where a nurse received 130 Guyana dollars, and this went on for a 3-month period. And so that is the reason why oftentimes we say that the administration continues through their agents to target this region strategically and intentionally. Now, many of the persons in Linden here who are employed, I'm just being told that contracts to repair vehicles, we have mechanics here, competent people. All of those vehicles, the mechanics were fired, and now all of the vehicles are serviced in Georgetown. The oxygen and everything that he would have normally purchased from a particular supplier, he has removed all of that. It is alleged that he has removed all of those suppliers, and there's specific people who we believe are connected to them, and they're siphoning off funds in a clever way to cronies and friends and supporters of the current administration. It is alleged again that he has been harassing many of the staff. I heard in the press release on the Marar Wave that they said the appraisal, there was concern with the staff and their performance. And so we call on the Linden Hospital Complex through the supervisors who would have been tasked with appraising these staff to make it public. Let's see what were the grades given to the staff so that we can have a view, a correct position on.
Yep. Again, that was Regional Chairman, Region number 10, Mr. Deron Adams, giving an update yesterday morning as it pertains to the situation there. And by now you should know that those dismissal letters were rescinded. Shame the shame. And I dare say, folks, to use a phrase from our FYI co-host, Rita Finance, I dare say, Granite Anderson and Ingrid Crawford, S2.E29, I dare say, guys, that it is because of you and what you have done also on social media. Don't underrate when we say share the live stream, smash the emoji button, and partner with us. What that means, especially sharing the live stream. All of that is part of putting pressure on the situation. In my Crabman voice, it is about pressure. That's the only thing them boys understand. Destiny Phillips, Deborah Clark out of Barbados, S2.E29. Pressure. That's what I understand. And so I'm happy that you guys were part of that too, putting the pressure, telling them the wicked stink and dirty and they got to change their ways. You guys have been out there as well. And so I want to recognize all of those persons who were so instrumental in helping to push back against this lawlessness and foolishness. Sir Han Ramsarup, happy Saturday to you as well. Pressure. I say in my best Crabman voice. Pressure. Sherlana Beresford. That's what the folks understand. And I'm so happy that all of you have been part of that. So don't think you have any insignificant role, those of you guys who are on the outside there. But in doing something so simple as in sharing the live stream has had a meaningful impact. And I want you guys to know that. And to know that we appreciate that. I appreciate that. Colleen Skeet Price, Julian Mars, and Susan Canzias. Good to see each and every one of you. You have your role to play. Each of us, guys, got a role to play. You know, the late, great poet Martin Carter says, All are involved, all are consumed. All, not some, all are involved and all are consumed. The PPP wicked, and I want you all to know they remain resistant to inclusionary democracy. Don't take my word for it. Take the word of Starbucks News. And that is why I love our affiliate website, Credible Sources. Because in this business of politics, you gotta got credible sources. You gotta have credible sources. And so we don't only rely on ourselves, but we want you to get a sense of what is happening in good old Guyana, good old BG, British Guyana, and to have you understand from other points of view what is taking place. And that is why we look, for instance, to a publication like Starbucks News, and we bluster that by our own entity, credible sources, going after the truth, guys, wherever it leads. You know, we didn't jump up one day. And the team that we have here, myself inclusive, we are people versed in communications. We understand what we're doing. This is not firing scatter shots. Folks who understand economics, folks who understand international relations, folks who understand diplomacy, folks who understand politics, understand communication. And we bring all of that to bear on the information, valid and credible, that we put out there. That's what we're doing. I hope that you guys take the opportunity to read on credible sources, our affiliate website, which can be found, of course, at crediblesourcesgy.com. An interesting article today. No billboards for Blinken. No billboards for Secretary Blinken. Starbucks News had broke the news that they were relying on their own credible sources, and that there was a visit next month from Secretary Blinken. The U.S. Embassy yesterday said that such a visit from Secretary Blinken, if it's on the cards, is not imminent. That's what the release said, is not imminent. All right. If such a visit happens, that's what they're saying, is not imminent, which means it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week. It's not going to happen next month. Right. They didn't say a visit will never happen. That is not possible. But he's just saying it's not imminent. So I hope and I recommend to you guys for your weekend reading, read credible sources. The first article up there is one titled, No Billboards for Secretary Blinken. And it talks about why, if and when he visits, unlike Mike Pompeo, he wouldn't get huge billboards around. And I'll just read the first paragraph for you. It says that Secretary Antony Blinken did not remove a democratically elected government. He did not install an illegitimate regime. He did not deny the will of the Guyanese people. There is no secret deal with the Jagdio Ali regime. Hence, there will be no large billboard with the secretary's face emblazoned from end to end. He might get a mala, but not a billboard at Rohamon Park. That's how the article begins. And I would suggest it as good reading for this weekend, as you decompress for the week, put this on your list of things to do around your coffee table. Put it on the list of things, folks. Put it on the list of things to do around your coffee table. Just want y'all know we understand what we're doing wrong here. But more to our topic. Might I have your attention? Andrea Percival, Cameron Augustus. Cameron, I see for a little while, buddy. Might I have your attention? Maxine Cameron. Might I have your attention? Laverne Joseph. And Maxine Cameron. Thanks for your kind words. I see you there, Maxine. Thanks for your kind words. Might I have your attention, folks, to today's editorial in the Stabrook News. And I told you, we oftentimes rely on other sources of information, because when them boys come out for talk, I ain't want to say, we don't want them to say, oh, it's just the parliamentary opposition, it's just the critics. You know, them are like, no, it's just the rabble rousers. But we give you other sources of information to say that we're wrong in some of the constructive criticisms we have been making. And when you hear some of the things that Culture News has been saying, you will realize them boys ain't crazy for true, you know. And here we're talking about the trench crappos, the jagabats, the tadpoles, the cricketers, the carrion crows, and the jumpy birds. They claim how we vex them, but every day they still come back for more vexation. We welcome you, of course, in this one Guyana that Stabrook News examines in today's editorial. So when you hear some of the things Stabrook News talked about, you're going to realize that it's not that we're crazy, that these things actually happening in good old Guyana, the cooperative oil producing republic. So I want to get into that. And as I get into that, if you want to send us a voice note, short, one, don't send me 10 voice notes. Short to the point, under 2 minutes. Don't send me 6 and 7. So make up your mind where you want to say, and then say it concisely. So we give as many persons a chance to be heard. As we go through and you hear something, if it strikes a chord in you, and you will let us know if these aren't things we've been talking about all the time at this end, Laverne Joseph, Gwenna Jones, Donna McDonald. Laverne says, drink something for that voice. I'm going to do so over the weekend. Thanks for your concern, Laverne. I feel the love. I feel the love. I'm feeling it. Bernadette Duncan, Donna McDonald. Here's Stabrook News. The main thesis in what Stabrook News wrote in the editorial today, Marla Alicock, the main thesis is that the wicked PPP stink dirty. They remain resistant to inclusionary democracy. And you can tell me if Stabrook News wrong, especially the trench crappos and the jagabats, the tadpoles, the cricketers, the carrion crows, and the jumpy birds. You can tell me if all of we wrong and it's y'all alone right. So Stabrook News editorial is the header, the title, Broken Vows. Bernadette Duncan family, Broken Vows. Who's sharing the damn live stream? Who can smash the emoji button for us? Y'all think because it's Saturday, we ain't fired up and ready to go? Don't come around with funny. We live by we, and we can talk the things. Here's Stabrook News. Free and fair elections do not guarantee a democratic government. They are weddings. It is the marriage that counts. Approaching 2 years on, in this administration honoring its is this administration honoring its vows to all the people? 2 years on, is this administration honoring its vows to all the people? This Tabrook News, Susan Seprio, we outside. Hold on, open the door for you. Tabrook News says certainly many projects included in the PPPC manifesto, such as the new Demerara Harbor Bridge, the Diamond to Ogle Bypass Road, right? Of which Edgil says it is likely to commence by the end of 2020, along with the promised reopening of the sugar estates, are severely delayed. This is Tabrook News today. They go on. Delia, Tracy, Karen, Beverly, Marva, Audrey Winter, the editorial goes on. The bridge will not be completed by the next elections, as promised. And the failure to deliver what is the country's most important piece of infrastructure will have ramifications for the development of the Wales Industrial Estate and the Vreeden Hoop shore base, and for the region in general. So Region 3 in trouble. That's what the editorial is saying. It goes on. It gets better, folks. We are cokes and popcorn. It gets better, I promise you. In the case of sugar, it is now. In the case of sugar, it now is clear, after the recent outreach to Region 6, that the PPPC's promise to reopen the estates was based on politics in order to win elections and was never achievable. Jagabats, trench crappos, tadpoles, and cricketers putting out pipe, jumbie birds and carrion crows, putting a pipe and smoke it. It was politics. According to Starbuck News, it was never achievable. The editorial says it is hard to believe they do not know this, given their intimate involvement in the industry. Gawu's Day Union that the sugar workers are part of. So they have intimate knowledge of the industry. The editorial says the process of using lands for other uses, such as hemp, aquaculture, and even wheat, is apparently now the way forward. Never mind the technical skills for such brand new and complex ventures in Guyana are not available. Unless ganja farmers take up the president's bizarre offer to meet with them. It is also highly doubtful that even more promises of hotels and a deep water harbor in Berbice will come to fruition as part of the so-called massive transformation for the region. What Starbuck News is saying, if I could break it down for you, is all of that is bullshit. That's what Starbuck News is saying. The massive transformation, quote unquote, for the region, it will not come to fruition. The editorial goes on, but outreaches, handshakes, hampers, and promises are important tools in placating supporters, even if they see no material improvements in their everyday lives. As for the promised 50,000 jobs, are we to conclude, as for the promised 50,000 jobs, are we to conclude the 4,600 part-time and temporary positions that are supposed to be created in Region 2, 6, and 10 are part of that? Exactly what are these applicants supposed to do for these jobs? Who will supervise them, Starbucks News asks. And how will they be classified within the public service? It's far from clear. But just like the 20,000 scholarships, maybe it is the number of job offerings rather than how many people take them up that will be counted. Starbucks News onto something. The editorial goes on. However, the primary concern regarding the first years of the PPP administration surrounds the principles of inclusionary democracy, accountability, and transparency. On this, there have been numerous failings. On this, trench crappos and jagabats. On what? On inclusionary democracy, accountability, and transparency under the PPP. Starbucks News, there have been numerous failings. Wicked, stink, and dirty. The failure to pass the new Petroleum Commission bill goes against President Ali's own words on August 20th, on August 2020, when he said the commission will be established to ensure that the oil and gas sector is not subjected to undue political influence. Instead, 20 months later, we have exactly that. No bill and oil czar with no experience in the sector, through whom all must pass. Even the Local Content Act, prioritized upon the urging of the private sector allies, looks bungled and in contradiction with Guyana's obligations to CARICOM. Even as the hastily organized local content secretariat is failing to process an avalanche of applications that were widely expected. Left, right, and center is failing in this country, folks. And that is what Starbucks News is chronicling. They go on. The mangling of the Natural Resources Fund Act was directly intended to diminish the powers and independence of the Accountability and Oversight Committee. Haven't we been talking about the breaking down of the guardrails? This is Starbucks News picking up on that. The mangling of the Natural Resource Fund Act was directly intended to diminish the powers and independence of the Accountability and Oversight Committee. And on the pretext of taking control of the fund out of the hands of the finance minister, the act now puts it squarely in the hands of the president and the private sector, to the exclusion of everyone else. That such an important piece of legislation was not sent to a special select committee is just another indication of how resistant to inclusionary democracy the PPP remains. And in wrapping up the editorial, they say, more examples. Listen to this. I hope you are listening. Kevin Brower, I hope you're listening. Cameron Augustus, Carlos Malcolm, who's sharing the damn live stream? Who can smash the emoji button? Who gonna partner with us? Subscribe so that folks get valid and credible information. Here is Starbucks News offering more examples of the madness that is the PPP. Less than 2 years in, here's Starbucks News. The Public Procurement Commission Act was passed in 2003. Who was in power? Them crosses. Starbucks News says, and it was not until 2016. Who was in power? The first Public Procurement Commission was constituted. It expired in October 2019 and is yet to be reformed, despite billions in contracts having been awarded, some of which look suspect. The Integrity Commission, which Mr. Jaglio said the vice reporter, Isabel Young, should ask about regarding his personal finances. Right? The Integrity Commission remains expired since February 2021. More than 19 months after the PPP took office, it is yet to ensure the reappointment of the Judicial Service Commission, which is delaying the appointment of judges, magistrates, and by extension, denying justice to citizens. Oh, I ain't hearing the trench crappers and the jagabats so loud now. But the tadpoles and the cricketers there, right? Delaying justice. The PPP. Delaying justice. It gets better, folks. So too with the Teacher Service Commission, which was dissolved in August 2021. The Ethnic Relations Commission also remains expired. The dissolution of the Police Service Commission is a special case, and many would see the appointment of Clifton Hickins as acting commissioner of police as a deliberate provocation, given his role in the shooting of the Linden protesters in 2012. That's Stabrook News, you know. That's Stabrook News. That is not Up New AFC. Stabrook News coming out swinging against the lawlessness. And in wrapping up the editorial, Stabrook News says, then there has been the dismissal of competent bureaucrats, such as Dr. Vincent Adams, whose skill, work ethic, and competence were good enough for the United States government, but apparently not for Guyana's. The transfer of Dr. Marlon Cole from the Food and Drug Department that he practically built over 19 years is another example, and one which puts at risk the nation's health. Lord of mercy. As for Guyana's Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, the EITI, Dr. Rudy Jalapat, one could only marvel at the brazen hypocrisy of dismissing the coordinator on the basis that he hosted an AFC meeting 7 years ago in New York and substituting him with an individual not only ill-suited for such a position, but also a political hatchet man of the highest order. Combine this with a natural resource fund manipulation, and the government has successfully, the PPP has successfully cut out any transparency needed to avoid corruption and the mismanagement of oil revenues. This pattern, finally, Stabrook News says, the pattern is clear. Deborah Clark, Kimron Augustus, Gladstone Matthews, the pattern is clear and was made even clearer by the Attorney General Anil Landalal, who declared that the government has no need to consult anyone on Article 13 of the Constitution. It is merely aspirational. Fine, Stabrook News says. Fine. But it begs the question, why is it there? And where is your aspiration? For this, we need to simply refer to a depressingly prescient editorial in August 2020, in which Stabrook News observed the PPPC has never been amicable to allowing any non-political organization which they have not penetrated to flourish. Right? You see what happened in Linden with the utilities company? You see what happened in Bartica with the Boat Association? You see what happening with the Public Service Credit Union, the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union? You see what happened in there? All right. The PPP has never been amenable to allowing any non-political organization which they have not penetrated to flourish. And it is the main reason why after 1992, civil society remained so attenuated. Their ministers in previous administrations reflect this central theme, and one suspects this time, things will be no different. And finally, hear this part. This is the kicker. Finally, this is the kicker. This is the dollar. It will likely be much worse because as taxes are overtaken by oil revenue, the citizens' right to transparency and accountability for spending has been weakened. The government will likely rule with an impunity and a sense of entitlement not yet seen. The government will likely rule with an impunity and a sense of entitlement not yet seen. One Guyana, the apparent new national motto, now emblazoned on a red baseball cap, on red baseball caps, sounds more like one party rule. And there ends the editorial. One Guyana, the apparent new national motto, now emblazoned on red baseball caps, sounds more like one party rule. One Guyana, now the apparent new national motto, emblazoned on red baseball caps, sounds more like one party rule. I want to hear from y'all. That's Starbucks News today. It wasn't 2020 August. That is Starbucks News today. 18 months in. Wicked, stink, and dirty. You understand why we say that now? Wicked, stink, and dirty. And these people, in all their wickedness, filth, and grime, gonna come and preach to you about good governance. They come and preach to you about transparency and accountability. Flop y'all. That's why I want to say, flop y'all. Don't come around with funny. Don't do it. Don't do it. Wicked, stink, and dirty. I want to hear from you. I want to hear y'all thoughts. And I always say, you don't got to agree with me. Send us your voice notes. 627-6963. That's our number. You should know it by heart by now. 627. Send us your voice notes on WhatsApp. 627-6963. We'll be only so happy to hear from you guys. 627-6963. Wicked, stink, and dirty. Quite a lengthy editorial. You can read it back for yourself. It's available. You can read it back for yourself in your own time, folks. Wicked, stink, and dirty. Gonna try to post a link for you guys. Let that be part of your Saturday reading. Okay? Let that be part of your Saturday reading, guys. Broken vows. And then you want to lecture people? Wicked. Knew that they were not going to open back the sugar estates. Lie to the people. Starbucks News is clear. The embarrassing was maybe, perhaps they lied to them. Broken vows. I'm going to post a link, guys. You can read it in your own time. Wicked, stink, and dirty. I want to hear those voices. I want to see those voice notes, guys. 627-6963. 627-6963. 627-69. Keep them short, but rock and come in with them. We're not going to take any calls. Keep them short, but rock and come in with them. One, please, not too long. To the point.
Good afternoon, Sharon and listeners. Apparently, the People's Progressive Party does not realize that their honeymoon is over. As a matter of fact, it has been over a very long time now. What amazes me, though, is the fact that there are still blind supporters. I mean, come on. Everything is playing itself out right in front of your own eyes. And on to now, you can't think for yourself. Most of those promises, like Starbird News said, were just that,
Mm-hmm,
promises.
mm-hmm.
I think it's time people wake up, not only the supporters of the PPP, but also some of the APNU AFC supporters. I think it's time they wake up
Correct.
and realize that these are some serious and trying times, and something ought to be done about that.
Six to
That's all
seven.
I will say for today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming through. 627-6963. Send us your voice notes, guys. Send us your voice notes. Please and thank you. Not too long. 20.1. Send us your voice notes. 627-6963. That's our MMG number. It's the WhatsApp number, the one number we use. 627-6963. 627-6963. Janice Chase, we see you there. Good to see you guys. Send us those voices. We want to hear from you. Jason McDonald, we see you there. Cameron Augustus, we see you there. Good to see all you guys. Claudette Pavel Lewis. Claudette, how you doing? I ain't seen a little bit. Good to see you today, Claudette. Really good to see you. I appreciate people don't comment every time they're on watching, but that doesn't say that they're not here. Good to see. Send us those voice notes. I want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from you. Yep.
Sharon, good day. I am will say, wow.
Wow, we need
Starbuck
it.
News come out swinging left, right, and center.
Talk to me.
And the PPP needs to realize that the Guyanese people are waking up. And I hope that the supporters wake up very early and not too late. Because old people say, too late shall be the cry. But I hope that they wake up. And the PPP wallowing in their own BS. And they don't even, like, they ain't even understanding it or they ain't seeing it. They are so confused and caught up in their mess and the propaganda
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that the propaganda now looks sounding like truth to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope Guyanese people wake up, and especially the PPP supporters and some of our own coalition supporters need to wake up. They need to wake up.
Yep. Thank you, Marlon. Pace and power. Pace and power. Pace and power, folks. That's how we got to do it. 627-6963. We missed our open mic yesterday because we were dealing with the Linden issue. We still are. We want to give you a chance to be heard today. Talk to us, guys. Talk to we. 627-6963. Send us those voice notes. 627-6963. We want the voice notes, people. Don't hold them back. Rock and come in with the voice notes. 627-6963. So glad to hear from you folks. Love hearing from you guys. 627-6963. Rock and come in with the voice notes. Broken vows. Starbuck News says. Christy Barrow, we see you. Good to see you. Yep. Claudette says she's here every day. Good to have you here every day, Claudette. Remington Mariah, respect and manners. Glycis Mingo Burn, good to see you, Glycis, and all the other beautiful folks. Susan London, we see you there. GT Starboy, Gemma George, Gigi, good to see you, Gemma. Folks, just rock and come in with the voice notes for us. So excited to hear from you guys. 627-6963. Of course, 592 because we were in Guyana. That's the country code 592-627-6963. Rock and come in with the voice notes. We are eager to hear from you. We're eager to hear from you guys. I'm just teasing you folks. Rock and come in with the voice notes. All right. Good to have you guys here. Wicked. They didn't care one thing. She said Sabbath News wailing to them this morning. Doing a pack of nonsense. A pack of nonsense. No interest in democracy. No interest in good governance. Lie to people to get votes. And now the in there is one set of teeth in. Corruption. Nepotism. Right? Foolishness. Long time gone, short time come. Hope you all know that. Right? That's what Sabbath News says. The primary concerns regarding the first years of the PPPC administration surrounds principles of inclusionary democracy, accountability, and transparency. There have been numerous failings, and they outline them. And we have been speaking about these very issues all the time, months now. And some of you jagabats and trench crappos, huh? Tadpoles and cricketers, Karen crows and jumbie birds, come here for cuss me out. But you go cuss out Sabbath Jews now. Maybe it's more palatable coming from them. Just maybe it's more palatable coming from them. Let me see if we have another contribution. Let me see if we have another contribution. Yep. I got one. I don't know if this gentleman wants me to play that. But guys, we're open for your voice to 627 6963. 627 6963. You know, there's someone here suggesting there's only one thing to stop the PvP cabal. Only one thing: shut down the damn country. That's one of you I'm seeing. One comment that I'm reading. There's only one thing to stop the PvP: shut down the whole damn country. That's a comment I'm reading. That's a comment I'm reading. We got a couple minutes left, folks. We'll be happy to hear from you guys. 627 6963. A couple minutes left. A couple minutes left. 627 6963. Really want to hear from you, folks. There's one other comment here that isn't, one other voice is not loaded. I'm going to try to refresh at our end and see if we get that. One other comment, but it's not loaded. Let me see. 627 6963. That's our number, folks. 627 6963. Really want to hear from you guys. Really want to hear from you, folks. 627 6963. That's our number. Wicked PPP remains resistant to inclusionary democracy, transparency, and good governance. Wicked, stink, and dirty. Folks, share the damn live stream. Smash that emoji button as well. Right? Smash that emoji button as well. Good to have you guys here with us. Would have it no other way. Pace and power. Laverne Joseph says the PPP go in these in their go in there to fill their pockets and run the country down. Well said. Laverne says the PPP go in there to fill their pockets and run the country down. Yep. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you there. 627 6963. Whiskey Session says the party goers will not be happy if you close the country down. Oh, the party goers will not be happy. I tend to agree with you. Attend to Great Your Whiskey session. They won't be happy. Clay Capel, good to see you. Bernie Creation, good to see you. Gwyneth Anderson, good to see you as well. Good to see all you fantastic folks. All right.
Hi, good afternoon, Sharad.
Good
A few
afternoon,
things.
sir.
You have to, with respect to the Linden Hospital situation, look out for them privatizing healthcare in Linden. The next thing is that with respect to that so-called monument in Georgetown by the roundabout,
The Jumbie Board Monument.
um, I recall as a child when Coffee Monument was opened up, they had the same issues, and the government brought out Mr. Philip Moore to explain the design concepts of that monument. And that kind of allayed the fears of people, and it is now accepted. I think with, without the designer coming out to explain anything on that monument, I can safely call that monument the Kalimai Shrine. And we need some African drums out there to exercise whatever demons these people have in there. The third thing with respect to the so-called building of an airport, I would like to know what is the traffic density at Temeri and Ogle. Do we have at least 40 flights coming in and out of Guyana? If you have less than 40 flights or 40 flights, it makes absolutely no sense of building a third airport.
Thank you for coming through there. William, thank you for coming through there. Pace and power. Pace and power. Folks, we want to hear from you. We got a couple minutes still. Looking forward to hearing from you, folks. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. So rock and come in. Rock and come in for 627-6963. And I see Erwin Don says, so true, caller. So true. Right? I see Elisa. I hope I'm calling it right. Elisa Durant says, fraudulent, illegal, corrupt, criminal dictatorship, racist regime. There to bleed the country dry and enrich their family, friends, and own selves. Correct. True and correct. 627-6963. That's our time, folks. I could take another voice note. If you guys are going to come through, rock and come in. Ensure you share the live stream. Smash that emoji button as well. Share the damn live stream. Hundreds of you are watching us, folks. Hundreds of you. Oh. Share the live stream and smash the emoji button. We aren't taking any calls, folks, but we'll be happy. We'll be so happy. A very good afternoon. You're live on air. Do you intend to be live on air?
Yes. Good afternoon, Sherrod.
Go right ahead. A very good afternoon.
I am lock loaded and listening.
Amen.
All 3 hours.
Peace and power.
In the great state of Atlanta, Georgia. We are a frequent listener to your program.
Thanks
all
for
of
the
your
support.
programs.
Thank you so much.
Wanted to be able to call in and to offer my voice to the conversation. I know this is maybe a cynical, remote perspective about the airport that this so-called government is building.
Mm-hmm.
And with the PPP, it is such an unfortunate thing that you, as much as it should be looked at as a visionary perspective that is also aligned to the expansion of Guyana, be it via its oil production, that we should be looking at the airport development as something that is seemingly positive. But because we have a government, a so-called installed government that lacks the visibility and transparency in what it's doing, one can only just be left with the premise to think that the only other option or the alternative of why this government is so attuned to building an airport in a particular region, and not because it is ethnically dominated by Indians, but it is probably a mechanism for them to be able to redirect the trafficking of the drugs. Because what's happening in the airport, at the current airport of Samaria, whatever we're calling it now, it's a little bit obvious that we can't, they're not able to push it as frequent and as open as they want. So if it is in an environment where it is by their people that they will employ their own, in general terms, more drugs will be trafficked and would have the ability to be accessed without impunity. Because I want to be able to look at something as aspirational as having an airport that really would align to the expansion of Guyana's infrastructure and growth. But you just cannot trust this government. You just are not able to just look at it to say, whoa, I think this is fantastic. So my perspective of the airport being built, it is another mechanism for them to be able to redirect the ability and the flow of drugs without anybody having any foresight or insight towards what they're doing. Anything that this government does, it is always done with an underlining motive. And so that is my hypothesis, which at some point, if this airport is built, we can then say empirically that we put it on record that if we start seeing drugs being pushed and peddled through this airport, that we affirmed it before it was developed and built. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much for coming through from Atlanta. Thank you so much. Yep. I see some other comments suggesting the same thing. A Torrid airport gonna be a drugs airport. Till the cocaine pass. Gwyneth says it's a free pass for the drugs at the Torrid airport. Patricia says drug trafficking. Torrid airport is for the drugs, the coke to pass.
Sharon, I had said that I would keep my mouth shut today. But the last caller brought up something, and it made me wonder. In the first place, I think that we need some forum so that persons could understand the implications of all these things that are being done without the proper way, or I should say not in the proper way. You know, you just can't wake up a morning and have a bright idea that you're going to put down an airport.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of Guyanese, and I'm subject to correction, but to my mind, a lot of Guyanese don't understand the implications of global warming. And for you to just be building things just like that without checking out to see if it is safe, what are the implications, that's a whole ballgame all by itself. But then again, that goes to show the disrespect for Guyanese people and the disrespect for persons who are trained in those areas. They just don't give them a chance to say anything.
Correct is right.
And lastly, this is for your beloved callers. I know that some persons they're still shy, but just like how they can follow all the programs and they can type all the things, be encouraged, start making an effort to make the open mic one that is more powerful, so that people won't hear one or two voices, they would hear many voices. That is just my wish for the open mic.
Thanks very much, my sister, for pushing that in for us. Thank you so much. I wouldn't add anything else there. Thank you so much for getting that in there for us. Yep.
Oh my God, Sharon, I didn't know that there is somebody thinking just like me with that airport that they want to put in quarantine.
Somebody let them
I
the
agree
cocaine
with that
pass.
woman 100%, because that was the only thing I had in my mind when I hear about airport in quarantine is to push the drugs out more, that it cannot be undetected, that it could be undetected.
Drugs airport. Drugs airport. Them boys said, drugs airport. Folks, some of the comments are taking so long to load while I play all of them because I respect that you guys took the time to send them. I see some says loading. We're going to circle back to them, hopefully. But so glad to have had you guys here. So glad to have had you. Let's see if we're good now. Nope. Good to see you guys. Myrtle Hines. Novella Noble, good to see you. Christy Barrows, Jordan Jasmine Carmichael. Wow, so many guys have joined us today. Ensure that you folks, you wonderful, beautiful folks, on this lovely Saturday, you share the live stream, Cherry Baskin Greenwich, and we smash that emoji. But folks, come back as well and partner with us. Y'all know we can't do this thing without y'all. If the funding don't come from here, it comes from nowhere. We lock up shop and we got. So find a way, find a way. We leave it up to you how much you want to give. Find a way to partner with us. You know, as far above later in your heart, act and move. And we want to thank you guys for joining us. If we didn't play a comment, I think we have two outstanding because it still says loading at our end. Right? So forgive us for that. It still says loading. Right? And we always say, you know, my sister was encouraging you guys to make the effort to send a voice note. You know, we love to type and views. Send a voice note too. Right? Send a voice note too. And we're so grateful for that. Right? But we love all the comments. We wish we could read all. Wish we could read all, Granite Anderson, Beatrice Helby. Wish we could read. Folks, use the weekend to be gentle with yourself. Spend some time with family. Rest and recuperate. That's important. Rest and recuperate. And please, 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 right? Ensure that you partner with us as well. We can't do these programs without you. We're available on Cash App. Right? Our Cash App handle, it's the $ in the ring 592. That's our Cash App handle. The $, of course, are standard in the ring 592. And then we're available via PayPal and via Zelle. One email address, PayPal and Zelle, is in the ring 592 at gmail.com. In the ring 592 at gmail.com. That's our Zelle and our PayPal email address. We're available via MMG via the same number you guys have been calling. That's our local Cash App, MMG. We're available via 627-6963. That's our MMG number. Via MoneyGram, Western Union. We're not averse to receiving money there. And if you want to know how you can send us money via Western Union and MoneyGram, you can WhatsApp us too, and we're going to tell you how. 627-6963. Come on board, guys, and help us in a meaningful, tangible way. We understand that all of you won't be here to be boots on the ground and in the struggle in a physical way. But this is a way in which you can help us to stay on air and stay bringing you valid and credible information, right? Helping to amplify voices, folks, and bringing you the what's happening here unfiltered, unscripted. Pace and power. Have a fantastic Saturday, folks. It's been our privilege being at this end and getting this information to you, right? We've given you the links to Starbucks News. You can go on the website there and read that editorial back for yourself. And see, it's not only we on this side talking about these ills, talking about corruption, nepotism, right? Distinct, wicked and dirty nastiness that happening. It concerns all of us as inheritors of this great country of ours. Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a fantastic rest of the weekend. We're going to see you guys right back here tomorrow at 12 for another episode of Below the Belt. Who vex lose? Stay safe, guys. Stay safe. WhatsApp us if you need any information. 627-6963. Have a great day. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe out there.